Sir.
Was he good, kisser?
Wow. Y'all mean this?
I don't want to, it hurts.
You're a real
We were children. We were children.
SZA and Drake's short-lived fling happened in 2008, and nobody knew they dated until 2020, when Drake rapped about it on the song Mr. Right Now. He sings, "Yeah, she wanna F to some SZA, wait, cause I used to date SZA back in 08. SZA had to set the record straight when the song came out. She tweeted saying that they actually dated in 2009, and that Drake innocently rapped 08 because it rhymed in the song, but it makes a big difference because in 2008, SZA was 17 years old, and in 2009, she was 18.
Still a lot bigger than what people think, so that's a must. Exactly. Now, I've been thinking about a guest performance.
Damn.
And he's obviously headlining halftime Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
Why is he the perfect person for halftime show this upcoming season?
Because for the people.
The people.
Yeah, and I mean,
Represents
he's
the people.
killed it this
has finished playing nights with Drake, and it appears that she is prepared to reveal everything about his dubious past. As we already know, SZA and Drake had a brief romance, but things took a bad turn when Drake revealed in a song that she was 17 at the time. Let's just say that SZA is viewing their relationship very differently now, and she may finally be ready to speak her truth. But that's not all. SZA and Kendrick Lamar are also reportedly working on a joint album that could delve even further into these accusations about Drake. If you've been following the Kendrick versus Drake feud, you already know that this collaboration could be the last straw for Drake. So is SZA going to expose Drake like never before? Let's get started. What specifically did SZA disclose about her relationship with Drake, and how does she feel about it?
Would you and Kendrick together consider doing a joint album? Like, we would love to see.
I would love that.
I think that would be amazing. He's such a genius, and part of his genius is like him being so elusive.
She avoided a nasty question about Drake during a game of Truth or Dare to promote their new comedy, which is why everyone was talking about her recent appearance on Hot Ones with Keke Palmer and Issa Rae Souza, not because of the spicy wings. On one of those occasions, Keke puts SZA on the spot and asks if Drake is a good kisser. Instead of responding, SZA completely sidestepped the question and implied that she was too young for their fling.
I can't.
That's honest.
What should I ask? Oh.
Okay, is Drake a good kisser?
Oh,
That's why I said fuck you in advance.
Oh, I like you. Hey, you.
I knew you were gonna do something that was so...
We had to gag him.
You did.
So?
Oh, wow.
She's not gonna answer. He
She
must have
did.
been terrible.
She did. She answered.
Was he good, kisser?
Wow. Y'all mean this?
I don't want to, it hurts.
You're a real
We were children. We were children.
That was the sound of lies.
2009, we were children. Real shit.
I mean, it's a simple good or not good.
Yeah, it's really easy. And the fact that you don't want to say one is very tough.
SZA kept the conversation lighthearted, but the video soon went viral online, reminding fans of Drake's lengthy history of interacting with young women. In addition, people are pointing out his problematic pattern of treating women disrespectfully, who reject him, and even pursuing his ex-girlfriends and wives. Drake's rivals have a long history of bigotry and disregard for women, particularly black women. The first song on Rich Flex's 2022 album, Her Loss, where he WS? All of you hoes need to remember who you're talking to. It's the SL Gang, CEO. Drake has been disparaging women in his music for years. When he first came on the scene, he mostly talked about his romantic life in Toronto. However, at one point, all those jokes and memes about him being too soft really got under his skin, and that's when his villain came out. Drake then says this bit lie about getting shots, but she's still a stallion on the song Circo Loco. It was pretty obvious that Drake was making fun of Megan Thee Stallion, but rumor has it that he wasn't doing it to defend Tory Lanez. Drake was totally embracing this tough man identity by the time Nothing Was the Same was out in 2013, but it went beyond simply music. Arc started abruptly. He was overcompensating and promoting a more aggressive, hyper-masculine image. A 22-year-old lady was the subject of some unsettling criminal charges against Baka Not Nice, a member of Drake's security crew, in 2014. However, Baka ultimately entered a guilty plea to only one charge, while the others were dropped. It was an extremely questionable situation. But guess what? Drake made no effort to disassociate himself. In fact, as soon as Baca was released from prison, he signed him to his label.
And when my brother fought out of jail, there was a lot of different paths that he could have took.
Baca.
And he decided to focus on music. And when he was focused on music, maybe people thought, okay, all right, it's a little fake. So look, it's an honor. It's an honor and a pleasure. I just wanna hand this. I wanna give this pen to my brother. I love you, G.
Congratulations, bro.
Down for a long time.
Hey, Baca, congratulations, my brother.
Yeah. Official. New York City, we appreciate you tonight. OVO. Not nice. Yeah.
Let's return to misogyny and Drake's music on his 2015 mixtape with Future What a Time to Be Alive, where he literally tells women to shut up and take what's coming to them. By the time he dropped Views in 2016, he was fully leaning into this borderline insult. This whole situation with Baca completely destroyed Drake's nice guy act and exposed it for what it really was, a role he played. Drake is not only cool with being friends with someone accused of disturbing crimes against women, but he actively supports and promotes him. Hotline Bling, in which Drake expresses resentment over a woman moving on from him and shames her for going out and living her life, follows Persona in Child's Play, where he begins the song with a sample that essentially shames women for dating athletes and then threatens to send a woman back to the hood if she crosses him. By 2018, Scorpion. Without his direction, Drake continued to represent women as lost. Let's now discuss Drake's peculiar history of being fixated on women and then disparaging them when they reject him or move on. Following Chris Brown's 2009 attack on Rihanna, Drake publicly backed her. Years later, they had a brief affair, but when Rihanna made it clear that she wasn't interested in anything serious, Drake began disparaging her instead of respecting her choice. To make matters worse, he collaborated with Chris Brown on 2 songs. But not only that, he also began disparaging Rihanna and A$AP Rocky. Although Rihanna hasn't discussed Drake in public for years, she did so in 2018 when she talked about that awkward moment at the VMAs when Drake made her feel uncomfortable by declaring his love for her.
But most of all, we love the woman who hasn't changed since day one. She's someone I've been in love with since I was 22 years old.
Rihanna hasn't spoken out about Drake in public since she made a remark about him 7 years ago, but he hasn't let it go on his 2023 album, For All the Dogs. As if that weren't enough, Drake brought up Rihanna once more in his diss track directed at Kendrick Family Matters, where he boasted about having slept with Rihanna before A$AP Rocky and ridiculed Rocky for being a family man. Drake also calls Rihanna's bedroom skills average. Drake raps, "I had no idea you were still rapping because they were only discussing your last outburst. You'll probably need to have another child before you believe you'll be dropping anything else." So, is Drake advocating that putting family before career is bad? That's what it sounds like. Oh, and let's not forget about Barry, Drake's longtime obsession. He always gushes over her in interviews, behaving like a fan, even though she has never expressed interest in him.
Would you really have, like, let's say she wasn't.
Yeah.
Would you seriously consider
like being with her?
Yeah.
100%.
Really?
Of course. What do you mean? I feel like she would be here right now, sitting right there. Nothing was the same. September 24th, what's up? She would be here turned to the max.
She would have the Jaden Smith t-shirt on?
She would be like OVO head to toe Tim's. You'd be like, Hallie just came here wearing Tim's?
In interviews, Drake frequently mentioned her, referring to her as his ultimate fantasy, and declaring that he would definitely date her if she wasn't already seeing someone else. However, he didn't stop there. In his verse on Migos' 2013 song, Versace Remix, for instance, he takes a famous girl out where there aren't any paparazzi. What precisely did Halle Berry mean when he said, "I'm trying to give Halle Berry a baby and no one can stop me"? But this is where it becomes even more unsettling, because he wasn't interested. When Drake and SZA released the song Slime You Out, from his album For All the Dogs, he went above and beyond and treated her with such disgust. At the 2012 Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards, a photo of him getting slimed was featured on the cover.
No one is safe from the slime.